Introduction. Halal certification is an official document that states about the halal status of the product. This certification must be applied for all the Muslim company around the world. For Malaysia, the company must follow the Malaysia Halal certification scheme. In this presentation, we will explain in detail about the procedure and general requirement to get halal certificate related to food and drinks. Besides, issue and challenges of halal application also will be explained in this presentation.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Rafidah binti Zakaya. So I will continue the presentation with the objective of the study. So first, the objective of the study is to learn about the procedure of halal certification process related food and drink in Malaysia. Second, in the study we learn to all the criteria that the product should have before the application of halal certificate. Lastly, in this study we also able to identify the issues and challenges related with the application of halal certificate process and how to overcome the problem.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Aisyah binti Rasid. Today I would like to present about motivated to do this paperwork. We are all motivated to complete the paperwork related to procedure for halal certification related to food and drinks because Malaysia's official religion is Islam. Because of that, manufacturers of halal products should know the concept of halal. So all the manufacturer must have exposed about the procedure of halal certification.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Aini Saadah binti Yusof, and I am going to continue our presentation about the procedure for getting a halal certification that related to food and drink industry. Okay, so before we want to apply for halal certification, we must register with SSM. SSM is the Companies Commission of Malaysia. This agency is they are monitor our company activities especially. So the second one is the company must have a business license that was applied from the PBT. PBT is the local authority. So if we have the company in Selangor, so we must apply the business license from local authorities in Selangor. Next, our company must operated for full time. Number 4 is the company must produce only the halal product based on Malaysia Halal standard. Next, the company must apply all the types of their product for the halal certification. And lastly, they must choose the supplier for raw material that has halal certificate, so they are more confident to produce the product. Okay, so for procedure for applying the halal certification, firstly they must register their account at MyEHalal at www.halal.gov.my website. After they register their account, they must apply the halal certification through online at the same website. So during the halal certification application, they must fill the application form. So this form is we must firstly we must write the actual name of product that is same with the name in packaging at our factory. Example that if the name at the packaging is strawberry jam, so we must write the name is strawberry jam. Okay, the second one is they must choose the true Malaysia Halal certification scheme like food industry or cosmetics. So if their company doing the food industry business, so they must stick at the food industry. So the next one is after they submit the form, they must send the supporting document at the JAKIM. So okay, so next the authorities will do the checking the application and also the document. So usually they will take a lot of time to check it because it depends on how many product that the company was applied. And then after the document is complete, the company will receive a payment later for them to pay for the certification fee. So this fee is different based on the type of industry. So usually for small industry they need to pay RM 400 ringgit, while for the big company they need to pay for RM 1000 ringgit. And then after they finish pay the fee, during in time 14 days they must pay the fee. The auditor will do the on-site audit to check the company. So they will check in terms of raw material, the processing of product, the worker, and also the factory environment. They also will take the sample for them to do the laboratory analysis. And lastly, the Malaysia Halal Certification Panel will do the meeting and discuss among themselves to whether to accept or reject the application from the company. Okay, usually this halal certification only valid for 2 years. So if the company want to renewal the halal certification, they must apply again at the My Halal at www.halal.gov.my at least 3 months before the expiry date. And lastly, they also can adding their new product by apply it through the same website. So that's all from me. Thank you.
I am Nurul Shamimi. I will explain about general requirements for halal certification that consists 13 main description. First, requirement of raw material. This including the source of raw material, either from animals or not, and how the raw material are stored. Second, the processing. Products applied should be produced consistently with updated production such as preparation, handling, and also processing. Third, packaging and labeling. The halal label should be printed prominently, clearly, and indelible. Other than that, the packaging label shall contain information according to the Rules Act and related standards such as coding number and list of ingredients. Number 4, the factory. The factory must have a control mechanism to prevent pests or wild animals. Besides, the equipment used shall be free from any hazardous material. Number 5, the food premise. It is quite similar to factory that mentioned equipments and appliance does not contain any hazard. Also, they mention the premise have an effective control system. Number 6, the workers. The workers shall practice Code of Ethics and Good Hygienic Practices (GHP) as stated in the Food Hygienic Regulation 2009 and other related regulation. Number 7, the sanitation system. They ensure the environment, equipment, pest control, cleaning schedule were taken care well and properly monitored. Number 8, Halal Record. The applicants shall provide a proper file to keep related document which can be referred to when inspection is conducted. Number 9, Workers' Basic Amenities and Welfare. The management shall provide basic amenities and ensure the workers' welfare is taken care of, such as suitable praying area and changing room. Number 10, Training. The management shall ensure that all workers attend halal-related training. Number 11, Supervision and Monitoring. The management shall ensure the supervision and monitoring of halal assurance system is well recorded with reference to a HAS 2011. Number 12, Tool and Elements of Worship. Tool and elements of worship are not allowed in the processing area, starting from the reception area for raw material until the finished product storage area and serving place. Number 13, Original Equipment Manufacturing or EM. So the owner and the manufacturer should comply with original equipment condition. Last but not least, We recap again, there are 13 general requirements for halal certification.
Next, we will talk about issue and challenge of halal application in Malaysia food industry. So, there are two issues that related to it. Before we talk further, I will state the issue related. First is cost and time. Second is authority, and lastly is the customer perception. One of the issues that happen during applying the halal certification is time. The halal application process takes too long. This is because there are many steps and procedures involved in obtaining a halal certificate. Then, one of the major problems that make the application process take too long is because of the lack of staff. This is the reason why the halal auditors take long time to reply to the inquiries received from the industry. Also, the shortage of knowledge in the halal certification field may result in inexperienced staff. This also will affect the time of the certification to be done. Besides, the second issue that has been observed is cost. The cost needed to ensure the overall implementation is high. The cost of establishing a halal certificate business is said to be up to 10% higher than the usual standard manufacturing cost. This burden of additional cost will particularly heavy for the first-time entrepreneurs in this industry, because the fee and the requirement imposed by JAKIM are the same for both large and small food business. So that's why the large food business operator can afford to invest in halal certification, but the small business will be discouraged due to the budget constraints. Resulting from this, companies to invalidate their halal certificate in order to avoid the high cost and time of obtaining certification from the appropriate authority. So that's why I think cost is one of the issues while applying for halal certification.
Issues and challenges of halal application is authority. Example of authority is Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, or we call that JAKIM. There is lack of expertise in the halal certification area. This causes slow processing due to the experienced staff. Next, lack of manpower. Delay in giving halal certification, especially when so many halal certifications. Next, clerical issues such as incorrect reporting were also related to operation lack of efficiency, so that it will minimize the number of halal certification approvals. Besides that, premise inspections for larger organizations can take longer. It's possible that completing a premise inspection will take more than 1 day.
The third issue is customer perception. Customer perception can be divided into two categories, which is Muslim and non-Muslim, and the second one is level of perception. For the Muslim and non-Muslim, the perception between these two are different. Muslim consider halal certificate or halal product because of the religious issue, while the non-Muslim consider halal certificate or halal product because of the hygiene that ensure the food safety. For example, of the cleanliness and the guideline of slaughtering process. The second category is level of perception. There are two levels of perception, which is moderate level and high level of perception. The moderate level is the consumer that are satisfied only by looking at the packaging
and the image of food products. But while the high level of perception is the consumer that are need to have the halal logo from Jakim first to satisfy them. Method to overcome issues and challenge of halal application in Malaysia's food industry. There are three methods from the three issues. The first one is ways to overcome time and cost issues. The first method is the entrepreneur can obtaining a business loan or other form of start-up funding from agencies for applying the halal certificate. And the second one is the time it takes to complete audit tasks is proportional to the number of auditors. So to address this issue, Jakim and Jais have frequently hired contract employees to share the workload and lighten the burden. The second issue is authorities. The first method for the authority issue is Jakim or Jais must improve the competency of their halal auditors by providing clear guidelines or checklists to guide them in reviewing the application documents to overcome clerical issues. And the second method is Jakim have used contract workers to divide the workload and lighten the load on several occasions to overcome lack of manpower. The third issue is customer perception issues. So the method is, firstly, continuous efforts to raise consumers' awareness about the importance of registering a halal certificate for a product and to consume product with halal certificate approved by Jakim. And the last method is promote a real movement for halal socialization through the Jakim. In conclusion, this paperwork highlights the procedure of halal certificate related to food and drink in Malaysia. According to the findings of this report, halal Malaysian certificate bodies face numerous challenges at both the federal and the state levels. However, it can be overcome with certain methods as a measure to ensure food safety.